What's up? And we're back at it once again, about to get into this good old art therapy session. So, we have completed our coloring book. So, I'm going in with, with working on one of my stories, okay? So, this story, oh my God, don't start this shit, because what's up? What is up? What the fuck ever? I don't know. I feel somebody's hands on my shoulders, you know, and they're telling me to relax and be at ease. So if you feel some type of dis-ease around a task or a project, you know, usually that is your mind trying to communicate something to you. And there's something here about make sure that your whatever you're throwing yourself into, it's kind of like make sure that you're not practicing or creating patterns of being an avoidant, okay? Somebody sick? I have a feeling, rock steady, baby. That's what it feels like. You know, I feel like there is somebody, and I do feel like it's a man, but it could be a woman too, but there's somebody out there to where they're dealing or battling with some type of a sickness. And I mean, this person is serious about who they let into their life or even their personal space, because, you know, it's not easy dealing with somebody who's sick. So this is what I'm picking up from. This is somebody's way of thinking, right? So this person has learned to use their sickness as a form of like a boundary when it comes to their self-esteem. So obviously you have seen or you know how people treat other people, or maybe people treat you knowing that you're sick. So it's kind of like a burden. You know, people make you feel like a burden. People make you feel unwanted. It's kind of like, okay, so let me intervene. On the outside looking in with somebody who understands where you're coming from. Because it's kind of like people expect, because you're sick, it's like people expect for you to act and behave a certain way, you know, like some type of a pushover, or they expect you to be extra nice. It's real sickening, people's expectations of you as somebody who is sick. It's almost as if they think that you're supposed to lower your standards because you may struggle with your health more than the next person. So you must have been through things with people, because when you're sick, you can really see who cares and who like doesn't care. You know, it doesn't even matter if the person is around. Okay, like if somebody is always around, well, the thing is that maybe they feel obligated to be there, but every little thing that they do for you, or that you need assistance with or help in some kind of way, it's like an attitude, or, you know, it's just so overwhelming and it's such a burdensome, you know, but it's kind of like, well, they're here and they're helping me. So the thing is that you have cut that programming out. So you must have taken on some type of independence or growth within you, your self-worth, your self-value, to the point to where, you know, you want people who are going to be happy to give to you, happy to assist you, happy to help you. This is crazy. You know, there used to be a guy on YouTube that I would watch. So he got into a really bad car accident, and he's in a wheelchair, you know, and he used to make like a lot of videos like marketing and advertising himself open and ready for love. You know, he's promoting how he wants to be able to take care of a woman, right? And I was just like, you know, that's you know, that's so sweet, that's so nice. You know, see, the way that I'm thinking that this man is like totally independent, and he wants to be totally independent. You know, like he has a lot of pride, you know, so he doesn't need, he always is showing how he transfers from the car. He's always showing how he can do shit by himself. So with me watching him more and more, you know, I started to notice that when it comes to his child, for one, he spends a lot of time on social media, and then it's like when he's around his child, he's always asking his child to like hold the phone, take a picture, take a video. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, damn, he needy as hell. It seemed like, you know, and then when he be on the phone, when he's doing his content, he's always asking his daughter to do this, to do that, go here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, well, damn, you know, I thought he was Mr. Independent. And it seems like when it comes to his daughter, he's always asking her to do stuff for him. And I start thinking to myself, I'm just like, that's how he gonna do his woman. So he sit here and he pitch, you know, how he wants to take care of a woman, but at the same time, it's like you need to set yourself up to where you want to take care of a woman and you want a woman to take care of you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of like the detail that he's missing out, and that's very important to both parties, especially the individual that is sick or that needs help, because an individual needs to be mentally prepared to be able to create a life to where they're flexible within maintaining for themselves and then being of assistance to their partner too. And you know, with his situation and his condition, it's kind of like, you know, you always flaunting how much money you got, how independent you are, but you don't want to attract a woman into your life to where she only wants you because you're going to take care of her, and she can smile for the camera, she can appease you, she can do everything that you ask her to do. But you know, in the meantime, in her free time, because it ain't like you can keep up with her too much, you know, she could be out here doing her, you know, while you're taking care of her, you know. And I don't mean to be so pessimistic, but it's kind of like, well, nowadays that's what women are influenced by. You know, the only thing is that she may be embarrassed by, you know, being with this man. But if she's being with this man who's in a wheelchair and she has to do this and do that, you know, you're pitching like, oh, I'm going to wine and dine you, I'm going to be all for you, stuff like that, you know. So when it comes down to it, in reality, in all actuality, you know, you're going to need that woman to be doing stuff for you too. I'm going to tell you, it gets tiresome. It weighs on a person who has to take care of another person. You know, my thing is that if y'all been together for years, and if y'all been in love, you know, then, you know, it's either a hit or miss. The person going to get too overwhelmed and leave, or they're going to stay right there by your side. I don't know what I'm really trying to say when bringing up this dude. It's just, it's kind of like he's not aware of how he is marketing himself, we'll say. You know, because like I said, he's pitching a line, but then you see through his actions and his interactions with his daughter, you know, his daughter is around, but there's no woman, and she's a young girl, you know, not even a teenager yet. So you're going to have somebody come in and it's you and your daughter. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I think that he should not be like advertising himself like that. But at the same time, it displays his readiness, and it displays somewhat of his confidence. Like, yeah, you know, I've been through this major challenge within my life to where I got into this accident. I can't walk. It was a struggle for me to heal, you know, and I'm here now, and I'm ready and willing to buy love. I don't know. That's just kind of what he was giving off. it's kind of like I get it, but with me being the type of person to where, you know, I can see deeper into certain things, I'm just like, it's not safe for him to advertise himself like that. It's not safe for him to make it seem like he's just this open and available, you know, space of security, stability, and bliss. You know, because even in the nursing field, when people are getting paid to take care of you, the turnover rate is high. You can talk to anybody that's being taken care of. It's very seldom that you find an aide that just stays or the family doesn't have a problem with. So you know, when individuals are getting paid to do the work, it's like a revolving door. So, you know, if you're coming off, you know, like selling, marketing love, you know, that's not in the best way. That's just not in the best way. That's not in the best interest, I think, for him to do that. You know, he has to, I think that he should be a little, it does come off kind of desperate and thirsty, but not really. I mean, the way in which when I break it down, it does seem that way, because I'm just like, you're a jewel. You know, you went through a life-changing situation and look at you. You know, you're bouncing back, making things happen in your life. You're proud of your independence and all, you know, everything that he has been accomplishing. You know, and it just kind of seems like when it comes to the love department, I don't know, it's like he's kind of like selling himself. With all that work you put into you, you know, I don't think that inviting a woman into your life should be that easy. You should make it easy for a woman, but you shouldn't make it hard for her neither. You know, so the point which I'm trying to make is that with somebody being sick, they need like that ride or die. Because it's not easy, you know, and then the person who is sick, they deal with themselves on a different level too. They go through things within them, and sometimes they have a tendency to take it out on other individuals. You have to be very compassionate and very empathetic when taking care of somebody. You know, that's what I'm saying. You know, that guy is like, he's pitching it, making it seem like it's that easy and it's so simple, you know, and it's really not. But I mean, that's just my opinion. Okay, so we are about to get into this reading. Okay, so are we ready? What are the messages for whomever it may concern? So, this is crazy. It's like, because somebody chose love, they get the gift too. Whatever that means. Okay. This could be the gift of love, but it's coming off more so as, because they chose love, they get the gift. That could be love from the divine. It could be self-love, or it could be somebody else. A mutual feeling that you feel with somebody else. It's kind of like being in love, then all this love shit. Love is a feeling. So we just want to leave it where it was at, what we see it. Okay. So you have a projection. Somebody is trying to project, or somebody is they're like gossiping to other people, telling people that you hold a grudge. Okay? Something about some changes that you've made, but the thing is that you have the star in the position of your crown. So there are changes that you have made, and there are changes that you have made for the better, meaning that you have ascended to your highest, to another peak within your soul's evolution. So you have leveled up. So somebody just may be jealous. Okay, so we have two men in your energy, but let's just say masculine. You have the King of Swords and the King of Cups. So we have a situation with three people to where they made the wrong judgment, and judgment has been called on them for their lack of discernment. I believe there's a prophecy that was prophesied, and these individuals are experiencing the effects of that prophecy. Okay, there's something going on here too with children. It's like three adults, maybe like a preteen, a youth, and then we have like a younger child. I pick up too, somebody is pregnant and they don't want to be. They're upset because they're pregnant. So there's a woman, she got pregnant by a younger man, and this younger man ran off. So I pick up that when it came to this young man, she thought that she was going to have this young man's sperm. You know, I pick up that she's very attractive too. And I pick up that she may have done very well for herself in her life, okay? Like, she's giving me, it's giving like classy, sophisticated, you know, but with the Queen of Wands in reverse here, she's being attention seeking. So it's kind of like she wants to come out of her shell, or it's like she wants people to see her for who she really truly is. But at the same time, she doesn't even know who that person is either. So I feel like this woman is trying to figure out certain things about herself within her life. But at the same time, there are a lot of things that are taking place for her in her life too. You know, she may have had like a one-night stand. Because I pick up marriage here, but I don't see marriage here. So she could be separated. Maybe she's divorced. If that is the case, if she's in separation or if she is divorced, this is fresh. Probably like a year, we'll say. So I guess she was ready to get back out there, and she just kind of wasn't being responsible. She didn't know much about this guy neither. So I don't think he played her. I think that I think she had like it was her ego. You know, she's older than him. She's probably more established. She's had some experiences. Maybe she has a family. So it's like who she is as a woman or who she has to be. Just it seems like her expectations are high, you know. And this young man it's kind of like he fell out of it. It's kind of like he put her on a pedestal, but when he began to really get to know her and all that type of stuff, it's like he took her off of that pedestal. And instead of looking up to her, now he sees her eye to eye. And because now he can really see her, he can see she's not who he thought that she was, or how she tried to make herself seem to be. I pick up she tried to give off this fierceness, this fierce independentness, but the moment that she thought he was gone or he walked away, it's kind of like her true vulnerability came out. It came off desperate, but it wasn't her being desperate. It just came off that way. Maybe from her approach. And she can't get in touch with this young man, so she's doing a lot of things to get his attention. Maybe they just fell out. The Knight of Pentacles, she does not, if he told her like he just wants to be friends, she does not want to be just friends. She does not want to be in a friend zone, and she's very upset about that. She feels as if this young man is being uncaring towards her, you know, because she's been wearing her heart on her sleeve. You know, so she's battling with her ego and then her vulnerability. I do feel like she is pregnant, or she was pregnant, but she got an abortion. If she had to get an abortion in silence, you know, this really eats her up on the inside when it comes to like guilt. Like she's not that. She's saying to her, I'm not that type of woman to get an abortion. You know, I'm not that type of woman to give up an adoption. I feel like she totally came outside of herself for this young person, this young man, and she took a risk. And in the beginning, I mean, it was worth it. But then there was just a shift, and she doesn't understand the shift. But it has nothing really to do with her. It has something to do with him, because he's the one that noticed what he should have seen earlier in her or dealing with her. Okay, so I don't know, you know, maybe you could be this young man. You know, she may be telling people shit about you, you know, she may be trying to project, but she's talking, so if y'all had a misunderstanding or something happened, she's trying to say that you don't want to talk to her or deal with her because you're holding a grudge. So while she's being attention seeking and you're not giving her the attention, you know, this is what she's thinking. She's kind of silly, you know. It's kind of like, oh, he's just upset, he's just holding a grudge. So she thinks that she can do like silly shit to get your attention. It's like petty, you know, like trying to be petty. Okay, so are you that young man? So the thing is that when you showed up to her, you showed up as a knight. But who you truly are, you are the King of Swords and the King of Cups. You are very masculine, okay? You are very masculine. So there's a beautiful feng shui about you, which means that it's very relaxing to be around you with the King of Cups and the King of Swords. You are in harmony both emotionally and mentally, very stable. That's probably where we got that rock steady baby, that's what it feels like. That's probably where that song came from. Maybe that's how you make her feel. Okay, you know, she loves that stability. She loves the stability within you. So you make her behave emotionally irrational. Okay, which means that, okay, so that would explain the Page of Cups and the King of Cups. Okay, so emotionally you're more mature than her. She's older than you, and when you showed up, you didn't really show her you. I think because you may have been a little shy, or you wanted to take your time because you really wanted to get to know her, you know. And then at the same time, there's something about you too, to where I feel like you wanted to show and prove to her that you weren't after just one thing or one thing specifically. Because I do pick up that she's well off, so you may have, you know, wanted to like gain her respect and her trust. So, you know, you were moving slow. Then you just came to the realization that, you know, maybe the two of you would do better as friends. But whatever has happened, she is upset, and she's real upset. She feels like rejected. Something happened between the two of you. This could be an ex. This could be an ex, and maybe y'all were friends after y'all broke up. But maybe somebody new came into your life, or maybe you were going through a challenging time, and this friend was here to help you, you know, to uplift you and all this type of stuff. I have a feeling you did it by yourself though. She was there, but you're the one who did it. It's kind of like she was a little bit of an obstacle course for you, you know, doing this. Meaning that she didn't assist with your ascension. She was more so of an obstacle that helped you, that helped challenge you. But I don't think you appreciated the challenge because you were already going through a challenging period within your life. So it's just like, when you look at both sides of the coin, it's like you're winning, right? Because even though she was making shit hard, I pushed myself to the challenge. She challenged me. But at the same time, you know, if I don't need the challenge, and when I don't need the challenge, I don't need the extra shit neither. I need more so of somebody by my side, helping me, uplifting me, keeping me encouraged, inspired, whatever. So there was a lot that you got to, there was a lot that you were able to see about this woman. It's just an age difference, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how old you are. It could be a woman in like her 30s and you're in your 20s. She could be in her 40s. You know, it could even be an older man dealing with a younger woman. You know, it don't matter. But I'm sticking to the story that you are a man. Okay, so you're dealing with this woman, and you have been dealing with her. You know, she doesn't want to be in the friend zone. Maybe you want to, if this is your ex, you want to remain friends. You know, if she took out time from her life to be of assistance to you during your dark time, rather she was helpful or not, to her that's still a sacrifice, and she feels entitled to you displaying or showing her some fucking gratitude. Okay, like it's aggressive like that. I heard motherfucking gratitude. He needs to show me some motherfucking gratitude. Like that's what's repeating. Like that's the shit that she's thinking about the most. So she's not feeling appreciated. Okay, so I don't know if, I have a feeling y'all got into it. And when y'all got into it and she showed her ugly head, it's kind of like you snapped out of it. That's when you took her off the pedestal. You know what I'm saying? So this could be a situation having to deal with divorce too. You know, to the Pentacles here. So what you want somebody who's gonna work just like you do. You know, you want a partnership. You know, you're not really here for the love. You know what I'm saying? You're not really here for the love. It's like you want a friend, like a best friend within a lover, but at the same time, I feel like that's more so what you want. You want more of a friend and a lover than anything else. You know, it seems like the emotions of things and the things that people do just kind of got you feeling like over it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a part of you to where you're going to be you. You're not going to change. You're not going to grow for somebody else. You're not going to do anything for anybody else. You know, I have a feeling you don't want to compromise anymore. You're not the type of person, you know, maybe you have taken care of women for a long time. You know, and it just kind of seems like with you putting women in a certain position, you know, nobody appreciates it. Nobody understands. But my thing is I feel like you deal with a lot of women that deal with entitlement. And on top of that, you know, women begin to feel bored and they begin to feel left out when you're the one out here doing your thing, shining and this and that, and they're at home feeling like they're wasting away and they're not doing anything. I feel like I need to have a camp for house women. House women need some type of community. Because my thing is that if somebody puts you up in a comfortable position, man, you can find some other shit to get into other than worrying about what the fuck he got going on. For real. You know, when you start to feel low about yourself, you have to raise yourself up. Especially if somebody is making your life a little bit easier, because nobody has to be taking care of you. Nobody has to provide for you. But I can understand how when you feel like you're not doing nothing with your life, you feel purposeless, meaningless. You start kind of picking and nagging, and you want this superior treatment from him, you know, to make you feel better. But shit, you in a good position if he's taking care of the basics. It's a lot of people out here, a lot of women, single mothers too, struggling just to make ends meet, just to make the basics. Shit could be worse. You need to remind yourself of that. You know? Find some new shit to get into. Start, you know, discovering new stuff. Broaden your mind. Add more to yourself as an individual. You have more to offer. You may not have external things to offer, but you as a person, and that's really what it's really all about. Because just like we talking about the ride or die, dealing with sickness, you know, that's like the ride or die. You know, being there, sticking it out. You know, relationships nowadays really don't stand the test of time. My thing is, for women, you know, we should just mentally prepare. He's going to be like a son. He's going to be like a husband. He's going to be like a father. He's going to be that annoying brother, older or younger. You know, that man is going to play many roles. So it is best to see him and start off first as friends. Because then when you get into the romance of things, you won't take things so personal. And then you can always bounce back on that foundation of friendship that you have. So instead of getting mad and pissed off and upset, you know, the friendship lightens up the situation. It helps you to remind you of, for one, who this person is to you. And that's practicing moving in the direction of devotion. Remember who this person is. Remember who you're talking to. Be mindful of the words, you know, that you're saying. And I'm telling you, men will work a nerve. They will work that motherfucking nerve. They will work that nerve. And some of them like to do it on purpose. Whew. You know, but you have to let your challenging situations build you. Especially dealing with men. You know, it's easier, and you find more freedom within yourself as an individual, as a woman. You know, a lot of the times we're fighting for it. So the way in which that we're fighting, it comes off very demasculating. We have such a point to prove. Drop that ego. Know that you are that diamond. And if he loses you, it's his fucking loss. And if you feel nervous about losing him because you don't have anything without him, start creating something for yourself. You know, get out and explore. You know, explore skills, talents, hobbies, activities. I tell you, when you truly grasp the concept of men, you know, you know, you feel less pressed, you know, and when you get a good one, it's like you're happy to appreciate him. It's easier to accept him, you know. So, and if this is a situation to where individuals are dealing with, lack of sex within a union, well, that is the perfect opportunity to really get to know your partner a lot more and a lot deeper. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I'm just saying, because when we're dealing with sickness, the person may not always feel like, intercourse, wanting to be involved in intercourse. And, they deserve that respect without you being upset with them for that, and sometimes you have to have those hard conversations, maybe y'all can arrange an agreement or something, whatever. You can create, so create. And remember, your choices are yours, so really sit and think through what you want and what you want to do and how you want to do things. But for this man here with the star card, all he thinks about is healing. I feel like he is healed, and if he's not healed, that's all he thinks about is getting to that star. Okay, so we're going to end it here. Until the next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.